go on record as saying here, because it is awesome.
Well, the guys, Muse are one of those bands where you don't have to love it. I do, but you have to listen to it. You have to check it out because it's not like you're going to get that anywhere else.
No, it is different. In fact, even you guys being into it and writing and creating that music have to wonder sometimes if you've pushed it too far, you know? Because at some point it gets into parody.
Yeah. I think we were always treading on that line. And I think we quite like that line. You know, we quite like that line between is this over the top or is it just right? But I think it depends what mood you're in when you're listening to the music. You know, like if you sit down and like someone just blasts an opera at you, you know, you'll probably think it sounds ridiculous or you laugh at it. But if you're in the, if you're in the mood and you're there in the place, it makes sense. You know, so it depends what mood you're in when you're hearing some of the songs. Some of the songs when you hear them for the first time, they'll sound very very extreme, almost over the top. You know, whatever you want to call it. But you know, that's what we do. That's what we do.
Are there some that you left off because you went, it's a little too far that direction?
Well, I'm surprised Exogenesis got on, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Put it that way.
Yeah, I don't say it's just over the top. It's just, it's just deep.
Yeah.
It's a journey. It's a journey rather than just being like overindulgent. I mean, it certainly doesn't feel like that's what the kind of music we're making when we're creating music in the studio. But I mean, a lot of the time the songs evolve a lot, and we normally put a lot of things on them, just because not because we're trying to. It's just that that's what we like to do. Lots of different instruments and lots of different parts, and be very ambitious with them. But normally we'd kind of take things away towards the end of the recording process anyway and strip it back a bit.
But I've thought when I've seen you before that you're really just mocking all the bands that are out there with 8 members when you're making so much noise and you're so big with just the 3 of you, and occasionally you'll get a little help from a sideman on stage. But it's unbelievable how loud and how much you can generate with just you scrawny little Englishmen.
Well, there you go. Yeah, it's got big souls in little bodies. Little big man, is that the term?
Little big man, yeah, sure.
Before we go back out to the audience, here's a Facebook question from the Kevin and Bean Facebook page. Sylvia writes in. She wants to know, especially with the Giant Stadium gig right around the corner opening for you two, what are your feelings on playing huge football stadium crowds versus small intimate crowds? Do you like them both, or
love it?
You love it?
Yeah, we really enjoy it because some of our music actually works really well in that kind of environment, big environment. Because some of the songs, like, you want to get the crowd clapping along or singing along with you. So that always feels better in a sort of sports arena or a football thing. But, I like little gigs as well. I mean, this is quite good. When the sound, it's difficult to get sound right in little venues. Right. That's the main thing I don't like about it. But when the sound's good, little venues can be great as well because it's more intimate.
Difficult to get the sound good in bigger venues too? Because I've seen a lot of bands.
Actually, that is true. Actually, that is very difficult. Yeah.
Do you guys write picturing yourselves in front of a big crowd in mind? Because it doesn't seem like there's a lot of...
I think some songs, I think like Uprising, the bit where in the middle we can hear a bunch of football hooligans going, oi, the bit going, oi, yeah, that bit there was written certainly with the idea that all the crowds are going to be...
Did you employ some real hooligans to record that?
Yep. We've got a couple working with us on tour who came into the studio and got rowdy.
Bean mentioned you're going to open for U2. Tell us about how that came about. Well, is it 9 dates? Is it?
I think it's about
like
10,
9.
maybe 9 or 10, something like that, across mainly East Coast, isn't it? It goes down to Florida, then a little bit. We don't come over to the West Coast, unfortunately, but we'll be coming back that way later on. But yeah, how did it come about? I mean, I met those guys. I met those guys. We did like a photo shoot together or something for Q Magazine a while ago, and I was chatting to the Edge, and Edge is like he's really into his gear, his studio gear. So I was chatting to him about guitar amps and gear, and we became quite friendly. And so I think it may have come from that.
Most bands, they try to bring somebody that won't upstage them as an opening act. Most of them go, you can be good, but don't be too good, because we want to blow people away. U2 is one of those rare bands that probably can, but...
Well, I think they'll be all right with us. I mean, I think we'll play well, but they've got about £45 million worth of set that's going to help them out.
Sure,
So I think they may just have the edge.
They do have the edge
quite
too, as well.
When you finalized that deal to open for U2, it had to have flashed through your mind there was a time in your life when you went out and bought a U2 album as a fan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Had to have happened.
Yeah, my brother, my older brother, was a massive fan of U2, or still is a massive fan of U2. I remember hearing their early records like Joshua Tree and Under a Blood Red Sky. That live album was brilliant. So,
amazing. All right, let's go back out to the audience here. It's Kevin and Bean's Breakfast with Muse. Who's next, Dave?
Guys, I got Natasha.
Hey, Natasha.
Hi.
What are you doing later? Oh, I'm sorry. We're on. Go ahead.
You guys are phenomenal. And my question is, if you could meet your idol, who would it be?
If you could meet your idol,
I would. I think there's one person that if I met that would make me really nervous, and that would be Tom Waits, because I think he's just an amazing songwriter, amazing performer, just like he's some kind of enigma. It's the kind of person that I almost wouldn't want to meet in case he didn't.
Because you have an image of what it would be like to talk to him, and it might be disappointing,
exactly,
right?
Yeah, but he's to me like some kind of genius,
Yeah. How about you, Dom?
Well, a non-living one, Jimi Hendrix.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
If anyone could meet him, you could.
Another non-living, well, maybe Buddy Rich as well, you know, because he's like a big inspiration to loads of drummers. But
Yeah,
he
of
was a
course.
real character, because apparently he's a real badass, you
Yes.
know, and he used to like treat his band like I think. But
And
I
you
think,
admire that.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be quite interesting to meet him and see what kind of character
Maybe when
he
you
is.
get to that other planet, you guys
Yeah.
could all hang out.
Hopefully he's
that's
going to
it.
be there. Yeah.
Good stuff. How about you, Chris?
I think it'd probably have to be Brian Wilson. I think big Beach Boys fan. So
How about that?
yeah, that'd be quite cool. You know, hang out, talk about the '60s. You know,
I wouldn't be
What
surprised if he's a Muse fan, knowing how into production he
I
is.
don't know. He's pretty frail these days, so
Yeah,
I
he
don't know, I
is.
don't know if he'd take it too well. You know?
You guys might overpower him if he heard that.
Interesting choices. All right, can we do one more before the break, Dave?
Yeah, this is Julio.
Julio.
Hey guys,
Hey, how's it going?
huge fan. I've heard your guys' songs in movies. Would you guys ever compose something for a movie? I mean, hearing Exogenesis and all the other good, piano songs, and would you guys ever do that?
We get asked from time to time to do bits and pieces. Actually, I did the end credits of a film called The International, which wasn't a very known film, but that was something that happened just before we made the album. That was one of the things that actually gave me the idea to go with Exogenesis, a more sort of orchestral piece. At the moment, I might be doing some vague work with a new film called Clash of the Titans, but to be honest with you, it's the Hollywood world is really it's tough. Well, I'll be polite as possible. They're very difficult to work with. That's the politest thing I can say. But yeah, it's something that would be I'd be into getting into if I had more time. Certainly. Yeah.
I can understand it as an artistic challenge, why that would be exciting, but you're right. You have to deal with so many bosses, and you have to make so many other people happy, as opposed to you've already got your own band. You guys can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you do. When you're in a band, you do your own thing, do whatever you want. No one's telling you what to do, But as soon as you go in the Hollywood world, you're at the bottom of a very, very big
Yeah,
pile.
that's true.
I was reading a book by Stuart Copeland, who has done a lot of movie scores, and he's got entire orchestras set up, ready to go, and somebody will come into the last second he's never met and say, I want it to go a different direction. And he's got to do 5 minutes.
Just gotta do it,
You're
yeah,
right.
gotta go, yeah.
You don't see yourself doing that.
We've talked a lot about Exogenesis, and when people get the album, they'll know why so many people are talking about it, because it's unlike anything we've heard in such a long time. But that's a 40-piece orchestra on that track, right?
Yeah, well, actually, it's 25, I think, but we recorded them twice, so it's kind of 50.
All right, so 50-ish. All right.
It's a cheap 50. Yeah.
Was it hard to keep a hold of that, or is it easy to kind of lose focus and control when you got that many musicians? You got to get going in the same direction.
Well, we worked up our parts first and recorded our parts, and then we actually did sort of synthesized strings first to sort of familiarise ourselves with how it's going to go. So by the time we went with the orchestra in the studio, we were very prepared. You have to be prepared when you're dealing with that many people, and because otherwise it will just go to chaos.
It's pretty expensive
Yeah.
to just have them doodling around for a few
Exactly,
hours
yeah,
to
yeah,
find
yeah.
the beat, right?
Actually, having said that, we did get them doodling at one point. Yeah, we got them to just doodle and just improvise, and we recorded some weird experimental stuff, which may feature on the future album, maybe.
You guys had to feel like Brian Wilson when you were in there looking out of that orchestra, I would imagine.
Absolutely. I actually missed the orchestra bit. I was ill, so I was pretty jaded because it's always amazing to see the strings come in, and always amazing to see other people playing on your music. So I was really upset that I missed that little.
Did you ever hear they're kind of knockoffs, but your band is one that got the string quartet treatment. Did you ever listen to that record that was released of your music
Yeah,
done
I
with?
think I heard Time Is Running Out or something done
Yeah,
by
yeah,
a
yeah.
quartet. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a compliment,
Yeah,
the
it's
songs
great,
stand
yeah.
up without your participation. So, all right, we got to take another quick break. More live music from the band when we return. More of your questions too. It's Breakfast with Muse. How do you guys like it so far? Pretty cool, right? Yeah.
Michelle likes it. Michelle's well into it.
We'll be right back after this on the Kevin and Bean Show.